is he locked that left front up, and what it did is just put a flat spot right on that left front tire, makes it start vibrating, won't grip. He's going to have to live with that until they can get it in there and change tires.
But here's the good news for Kyle Busch. In 5 starts at Richmond, he has never finished worse than 5th, including 2nd the last 2 times he has been here. Jeff Gordon is our leader. He has led twice for 67 laps. It is Jimmy Johnson, Kurt Busch, Carl Edwards, and Denny Hamlin that are chasing Jeff Gordon. Can Jeff pull off his 5th win of the year? He's leading right now. Back after these messages and a word from our ABC stations. With just one race to decide the championship, it's a 3-way battle to the finish. Indy's 500 champ Dario Franchitti takes on Scott Dixon and Tony Kanaan. They're all looking to win and take home the IndyCar Series title. It's the peak antifreeze IndyCar 300 presented by Mr. Clean at Chicago tomorrow, 4 o'clock Eastern time, right here on ABC. Lots of traffic up front for the lead car, Jeff Gordon. The 88 car being driven by Kenny Wallace, subbing for the injured Ricky Rudd.
And Kenny really wants to do a good job in this 88 car tonight. He says he's got a good car. Big race for him tonight. But Gordon right now is getting hung up behind both of them.
Yeah, Gordon kind of caught between a rock and a hard place here. He's got 2 lap cars that are racing. And you see this 88 car, Kenny Wallace, he's going to race as hard as he can not to go a lap down in case the caution comes out.
For you Ricky Rudd fans, he was injured with that driver's side impact at California last week. Separated his left shoulder. First injury he's ever had on a 900 career start for Ricky Rudd, having to sit out here the last race of his career in his home state here in Richmond, Virginia.
Well, right now, Jeff Gordon's getting held up a little bit. Looks like he just made it back by Kenny on that one, but probably getting a little agitated. But you know what? Kenny doesn't care whatsoever. He said, hey, man, you won a bunch of races. You're doing fine.
Yeah, but what if it was you, Rusty? You've led a lot of races here, and you come up on these guys. Do you get mad at them?
Oh, put a bumper to him, man. you hit him right in the rear and knock him sideways and pass him. That's what you got to do.
Hey, I remember that when you did that to some guy named Jeff Gordon going into one, and boy, that's about as mad as I've ever seen Gordon. He was mad as a hornet.
Well, that's a pretty good race, though, wasn't it?
Jimmy Johnson on the move. Now, he's going to try to work his way by the 88 car.
Looks like Jimmy found a little something. He was struggling for a few laps, and then he must have changed his line a little bit. Now he's running Gordon down just a little bit.
Let's take you back to 2001. Talk about contact. There's our buddy Rusty Wallace. Hey, you're in my way, man. Oh, goodness, a little contact here. And here was a discussion.
Gotta love short track racing, don't you, Rusty?
That's what's so great about Richmond, guys. A lot of tempers, a lot of action. People love it. This place is packed here tonight. Standing room only.
That's why they've had 32 consecutive sellouts here at over 112,000 folks. They jammed their way in here to see exciting NASCAR on a short track Saturday night here in Virginia. Alan.
You know, Jerry, we've talked a lot tonight about adjustments that the pit crews make on these cars during a stop. Jimmy Johnson, who won the last race here in May, talked about how he has made an adjustment to his driving here. He said during that race weekend he learned how to drive the place. And I asked him before the race what he meant by that. He said he was attacking the corners too hard and abusing his equipment too much to the point that the crew was not able to help him with their adjustments later in the race. He said, I adjusted the way I did things. It helped them adjust the car, and we won. I hope I can remember how to do it tonight.
Well, it looks like he's doing a pretty good job right now. And Andy, one thing I've noticed, these guys are pretty inconsistent out there. We're watching the lap times. One time a fast lap, the next time a slow lap. They just can't seem to get these cars where they want them right yet.
This is the final race in the race to the chase, trying to get in the top 12 here. The 29 car, right side of your screen, that is Kevin Harvick, and he's being shown in the 10th position. He started 13th, now in 10th. He just has to finish 32nd or better to hold on to that 12th position and be the final driver in the chase. Now, what about Dale Earnhardt Jr.? He started back in 21st position. Here's Dale Jr. He is now being shown in 12th spot, just 2 spots behind Kevin Harvick. Jamie.
Well, he's done a heck of a job fighting his way forward, Doc, but he's still fighting an ill-handling race car, and this was on his radio just a few moments ago.
They're vibrating like hell. That was my problem at the start. The brakes started shaking like, hey, 10-4. The fans just cooled them down during that caution. Well,
talking about? How you cool him down? What's it all about? Let's check in. We're going to show you exactly what he's referring to with our Chevy cutaway car and Tim Brewer.
Hey, thanks, Jerry. What you're going to have here, folks, you got this opening right here. That's going to conduct airflow back through the coolers. Now, we've got fans back here. This is a premier setup right here. There's nobody in NASCAR got anything any better. We've got Max Crawford's fans up here. We've got even fans down here in the lower portion. And it's going to conduct all this airflow right over here to the caliper in hopes of keeping the brake heat from the caliper. Because right here, folks, the fluid, when it boils in behind this piston, that's when Rusty alluded a while ago. He said, hey, the pedal's getting long. The reason it's getting long is boiling the fluid back in this area, and that's where the weakness in the brake system is here at Richmond, Virginia. Jerry?
Tim, that is a perfect explanation for exactly how all the cooling works. For more information on brake cooling, log on to ESPN.com. Search word Tech Center.
The one thing I heard Tony Jr. say, though, is that they're going to have him turn the fans off during the caution. What they don't want to do is have these rotors going through these big temperature swings. You can see them right here. The rotors are glowing real red. They're super hot. And then when the caution comes out, they keep the fan going. It'll just bring that rotor down too cool and it may warp it a little bit. It causes that shaking that I think Junior's talking about.
Well, it's just like anything you're used to. If it's really, really hot, you put water on it or cool it real quick, it'll get brittle and break. And that's the same thing with a brake rotor. If you cool it too fast with those blowers, it's going to kill it. And it's actually going to not hurt it, but it could break it.
That's the last thing Junior needs right now is brake problems. But I think when I watch his car, well, I see a little temperature in the brakes that time, but some of them are really getting hot. Even Harvick's brakes were very hot.
130 laps, so 400 are complete. There is Jeff Gordon, the 24 car. He's the points leader and a four-time winner this year. Jimmy Johnson in second spot. And we have caution, trouble on the track. Joe Nemechek has had hard impact with the right side of that 78 car.
It's the second right front tire we've seen down. That's what it looks like happened here. I don't know if it went down before or after it hit the wall. You see it is flat now.
As bad a break as this is for Joe Nemechek, it turned into a good break for Casey Kane, who was just about to be lapped by Jeff Gordon.
You could see he just absolutely lost the right front tire, went head on in the wall. Joe Nemechek's car. These car tomorrows, they are so tough. It's incredible. I mean, the cars look identical, but it's this front of these cars are so strong, folks. Before, you see the whole front end wiped off. Really bad. Now, that's hurt.
Yeah, that's a hard lick right there.
Not as bad as the old car would be, though, Andy. This thing's just strong.
Nemechek will head to the garage area. The free pass goes to the 88 car. And that is Kenny Wallace. He will be able to get back on the lead lap. They have not been on pit road for quite a while. Last pit stops for lap 64. They should all be coming in. And indeed, here they come. Jeff Gordon, Jimmy Johnson, Carl Edwards, and the whole field. Let's head down toward you, Dave.
Carl Edwards says his car is barely tight in the center, a little loose in and off. They'll leave the air pressures where they are, go to a chassis adjustment. He picked up 4 positions on that last run. Mike.
And speaking of gainers, Kurt Busch picked up 3 positions on his last pit stop, complaining the car's a little bit loose. They'll take out 1 round on the track bar. Jamie?
And Jeff Gordon continues to dominate this race. Last time he came in, they made a wedge adjustment, 1.5 on that left rear. They're going to do the same thing. He said it helped him turn better in the middle. Let's go to Allen.
And Jimmy Johnson still looking for more front-end grip in this car. Air pressure and wedge and track bar adjustments. See if it comes off pit road second. It came down second. And indeed he will.
There's the scramble off of pit road, and Denny Hamlin gains a spot. Tony Stewart loses 3 positions. Kevin Harvick now gains a spot all the way up into the top 10. You see the losers and the gainers. Jeff Gordon and Jimmy Johnson didn't lose a thing, despite the fact that Jimmy Johnson wanted all those adjustments made to try to get some more front grip on the car. Here's the race off of pit road. There goes Gordon, and Jimmy Johnson 1-2 with Denny Hamlin sailing by as well. Crew camera on the 1-car front tire changer, Dave Collins, trying to get it done for Martin Truex Jr. here under the caution. 4-tire change. Here's the 8-car for Earnhardt. His Jackman, Brian Hootie Chase. Hustling around Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s car. Back with the green in just a moment. Welcome back to Richmond, Virginia, Richmond National Raceway, the Chevy Rock and Roll 400. And Jeff Gordon's Chevy is rocking and rolling up at the front. It is Gordon, Johnson, Hamlin, 3 consecutive Chevys. Then the Ford of Carl Edwards in 4th spot, and the Dodge of Kurt Busch in 5th.
Jeff jumped out to a big lead right here on Jimmy Johnson. Right on that restart, he just took off and put about 5 or 6 car lengths on this guy.
Let's take a look at Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s restart here a moment ago, and there's some contact as he gets down in the corner.
He kind of forced 3 wide in there. You saw that 19 car was going for it. Got in the 22 car a little bit, moved him out of the way, kept going.
I don't think Dave Blaney knew he was there in that 22 car. You can see he kind of snuck in there.
That could have been big right there. I mean, Blaney did a good job holding on to that thing.
Earnhardt Jr. inside the 29 car that is for position on the racetrack. That's for 10th spot.
Well, Junior's got to do this, guys. He's got to run the race of his life. Not be careful at all. Just go for it.
Harvick needs to give him plenty of room right here.
This reminds me a bit of Pocono, when Earnhardt Jr.'s car was just awful at the beginning of the race. They kept working on it and working on it. And finally, in the last 100 laps, that car set sail, and he went all the way up to finish second.
It just shows you how hard these guys are racing. I mean, they're doing everything they can in the pits, only stop, changing the car, and Junior's driving his heart out, trying to make this chase.
More on Dale Earnhardt. Jamie?
Well, Dale Jr.'s doing his job on the track, guys, but that last stop, 18 seconds. One of the crew guys got hung up. Dale Jr. very irritated, to say the least. He's driving like a man possessed. He's already gained about 5 spots since that restart. Let's go over to Brad Daugherty.
Thanks, Jamie. Andy Petrie made a great comment a second ago as I talked to Tony Eury Jr. He talked about how hard Earnhardt Jr. has been driving this race car, and he wanted to reiterate the fact. He said, Brad, we may not be in the chase, but we are a proud race team, and we're going to go out and we're going to participate to the end of the season, try to win as many laps and as many races as we possibly can. And I want everyone out there to know that we never did give up this season, no matter what the outcome. That's from Tony Eury Jr., his crew chief.
And Brad, he said this week to the people at home, he said, for all you fans and all my sponsors, said, don't give up on us. We're not going to give up. We're not going to quit until that checkered flag waves. We're going to be a part of this race to the chase. A little bit of smoke out of the 6th car of David Reagan.
See some damage on the left front there where he's had some contact with somebody.
Now, the problem he's got right now, the left front fender's bent down on the top of the left front tire. He's got to be careful with that. We saw a lot of blowed out tires when this problem happened. Was last week Michael Waltrip. Same type of situation here.
Had a little contact with the 25 car, Casey Mears.
See Casey Mears in the 6th car, David Reagan racing. It's like Casey's going to come up the track a little bit. And they touch right there, and that just bends the left front fender down on David Reagan's car. And that is tough for him because those fenders don't have a lot of clearance.
Yeah, Reagan didn't have anywhere to go there. He was up against the wall, actually touched the wall on the right side also.
41 car, Reed Sorensen is in front of him. There's a 21 of Bill Elliott. Casey Mears now has moved by in the 25 car. That is 20th, 21st, and 22nd. We were talking about what a great run the 70 car had early on. Johnny Sauter all the way from 35th starting spot into the top 10. But they had their troubles, Dave, in the pits.
Yeah, but they can go south in such a hurry on pit lane. What happened was the left rear was just a little bit slow, and Johnny, anxious to get away, keep this potential top 10 run going, gassed it just a little early. It rolled off the jack, so they had to jack the car back up, make sure all the lug nuts were on correctly on the left side before he could leave pit road, and they restarted 30th.
Another car that's had some issues, the 31 of Jeff Burton, who was very good early on and then started backsliding through the field.
Yeah, he didn't have any trouble on pit road, but his car's just not been very fast tonight. That's kind of surprising to me.
Alan?
Hey, Jeff Burton's problem, no rear grip. He says he can't get the back end of the car to hook up into the racetrack. And since those are the drive wheels on these rear-wheel drive cars, that can kind of be a problem, huh?